couple of Ohio natives joining us here on the set. Urban Meyer from Ashtabula, Ohio. Bo Pelini from Youngstown. Understand you guys intersected for a while at Ohio State as well when Bo was a player. Urban was a graduate assistant, so they have that in common. They have their relative newness to the Big Ten in common, although, Bo, you are the veteran here. So we'll start with Coach Meyer. First year at Ohio State, interesting transitional year in that you are ineligible for the postseason. How does that factor into how you get ready for this year? Does that play any kind of a role?
It plays zero role. Every coach's dream is to have a team with a chip on their shoulder, an angry team. I'm hoping we'll find out what I have next Friday, but all indications are we have a very motivated team. My concern will be about week 8, 9, 10, when usually you're trying to aim for something like a ring or a prize at the end. But I'm going to have to evaluate that when that happens. Right now, our focus is get to training camp. Its status as if we are playing for a championship, but I have to have a plan, and that plan is going to be developed throughout the year, what kind of team I have. If I have a tough team that's full of competitors, it doesn't matter if you're playing checkers. They're going to go try to win that game.
Coach Pelini, we talked last year when you were up here, and we talked about joining a new conference and what a challenge that was for you. You had 8 new teams. You had to kind of figure out what they do. You didn't really have a whole lot to fall back on in terms of previous year's preparation. How is the challenge in year 2 different from year 1?
Well, I don't think it'll be much different. You know, you come out of the year. I found out it's a very deep conference. You're going to get challenged week to week, and obviously we gained some familiarity with who we're playing, the type of, it's one thing seeing teams on film, but when you line up against them, and then you also look at how teams are going to want to attack you. We're probably a little bit different than some people in how we play, and so you gain a lot of information, and hopefully that gives you that much more of a leg up. But at the end of the day, that isn't going to win football games for you. It's about fixing you and making sure we continue to develop as a football program.
And playing solid defense too, Coach. And I want to ask you about your defense. Had some injuries last year, so your defense, I think you would admit, didn't play up to where your expectations were. What does this defense need to do this year to start to make those strides?
Well, I think we've already started making those strides. We need to get back to, getting healthy, number one, will help us. We're pretty deep, especially in the back end. Our defense a little bit runs through our back end, believe it or not. And we're pretty talented back there, a lot more talented, a lot more options, a lot more versatile than we were a year ago. And that'll allow us to play the type of aggressive defense that we're used to playing.
Urban, you say often that you spent a year out of football in broadcasting. It was a chance for you to learn and see what some other people do in the game. What are some of the specific things that you picked up in that year?
I think that the specific thing that was refreshing to me, and I kind of, when you think back and reflect, it's obvious, but the teams that are aligned with the head coach, the CEO, they're the great programs. It doesn't matter if it's Chip Kelly's style or it's Mac Brown's style or it's Bo Pelini's style. It's all different. It's getting everybody in order, and that's one thing I've worked extremely hard on. There cannot be any agendas in a program where you fail, and that goes from your strength coach, your trainers, and that's what I got. When I had a chance to go visit those programs, the common denominator was not the style of play, it was not the quarterback's throwing motion, the vertical jumps. It was the fact that everyone in the program's aligned. Oregon's bizarre. Their style of play, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but just to watch everybody fall in line with that, what the CEO wants, that's about as good an example as you can find. Just, it doesn't matter. Whatever we say you're going to do, fall in line or else you got to move on. That's what I learned.
Did those programs jump out at you right away when you visited campus during a game?
I'm sorry?
Those type of programs jump out at you?
I can see it on film. You can see the way, because you just train your eye, and is the left tackle on kickoff return going as hard as the starting right tackle? If it is, that means you have a staff that's aligned, because whoever's coaching that left tackle knows that he's going to be evaluated, and that's important to the head coach. So you can see it on film. You can see it when you walk in and see is it a very clean, organized department? You can see it right away. And so that's our focus at Ohio State as well.
Coach Meyer, when you come back, when you first got in, you talked about winter conditioning. The guys didn't get a chance to use the locker room. That was one step. Now you go into spring ball, and now you're into summer. Is this just another step, and are the players ready for what this next step is since they haven't been involved with you running a camp?
Well, we have something called Champions Club, and it's broken into 4 quarters. First quarter is the mat drill off-season program, very difficult. Second quarter, spring practice. Third quarter, they just finished, and that's our strength coach and strength staff run them through the summer. And we get ready after Friday. We have kind of a ceremony. The head coach or the strength coach hands me the team, and that starts the fourth quarter, which is football. So they've passed the first quarter very well. Second quarter was average. Spring practice was pretty good. My understanding is this third quarter has been real good. So the last quarter, most important quarter, is getting ready to start.
Bo, you mentioned what a great player Rex Burkhead has been for you. If you had to pick out the most important quality he brings to the team, what would it be?
I think work ethic, and obviously tremendous character that is required for that. But he is the same every day, and he brings it every day. He's a tremendous example. He's a role model, and I'm not just talking about. It goes well beyond the football field with Rex. I mean, he's touched a lot of people since he's come to Nebraska, and he's been a huge impact. And he's the type of guy that, when you say student athlete, he embodies all the things all the qualities that we all want to see in our student athletes across the country.
Bo Pelini, Urban Meyer, thanks a lot, gentlemen. We'll see you down the road.
Good to be with you.
Thanks, guys.